Oh, and welcome to the Liverpool edition of Haunted Nights. For those that don't know me, I'm Dave. Yeah, I've come to Liverpool St James's tonight. First night back for me, proper event with guests. Hi to everyone that's jumped on, Michelle, Jade, Bally. Yeah, so as you can see, I've come to St James's. The cathedral behind me. Yeah, so this is my first night back of restrictions being lifted, being able to do events, being able to be out in the open and to have guests with us. I know the team obviously were working hard last night and they are working hard tonight as well in Blackpool, I think. Yeah, so just thought I wanted to give you a quick hello and just sort of tell you that we're back. And again, this is the Liverpool edition. Obviously I'm in St James's Park, which was a cemetery. Still around 56,000 people just buried underneath my feet. You can see just a few graves sort of floating around, a few people about. Let me just turn the camera around just so you can see. Michelle, it is lovely to be out here and it is a beautiful place to be. Yeah, hi again, Bally, it's nice to hear from you. But yeah, so you've got the cathedral just peeking through the trees there. Now obviously it's daylight and it isn't as spooky as you expect. There's a couple of people floating about, obviously, because we're allowed to be in our little groups. Yeah, the cemetery itself was known, well, I should say was originally a quarry dug out, if you don't already know, and later on its use was put into place for a graveyard for the city of Liverpool. Quite a few prominent people are buried here. We have quite a few Americans actually buried over here due to the trade routes and so on, with Liverpool being a port. So yeah, quite a few people, like I say, 56,000 people buried here. Some areas, like say for instance over this side, they were open, what you sort of suppose you class as a plague pit. They were open and you'd have 250, 300 people just buried into that open with a bit of lime thrown over them. It was quite commonplace around here, to the point where the local residents, who were a little bit well-to-do, started to complain of a rolling green mist and a smell floating through onto the streets. And because they had a little bit of money, obviously those had to be filled in. Now if you was to Google this site, you would see, other than where the pathways are, every little bit where there's a bit of grass had a gravestone on it. Like I say, 56,000 people still buried underneath us. A lot of the graves have been sort of moved and put to one side. Let me just sort of show you a couple. Never find them, to be honest. Yeah, so quite a few of the people that were buried here were children, sadly. Mortality rates back in the day were not the best for young people, and you'll see just in a second. Right, so it's these ones. So again, this isn't exactly where they are buried, but you can see some of the ages. Yeah, so a good majority of the people that are buried here were children. Like I said, just having a quick walk down. Beautiful place to be, absolutely beautiful place to be. Obviously you get a lot of the local wildlife, the youth that is, but they're all behaving themselves, all up on the hills. So yeah, you've got nice big monuments in the centre there. I think it's called Chalybeat Spring as well, which is just over there, as you can probably see. I'll see if I can walk around to it. Michelle, it says, you say it gives you goosebumps. You want to be here after dark. Never mind the local wildlife. It takes on a completely different feeling. It is a random place to be. But yeah, where this dog is, admittedly, hi Robbie, hi Fee. Yeah, where this dog's drinking this water, that's a stream that was found as they were digging out the quarry. It's the only, well, it was like a little spring well kind of thing, and it's always put a constant stream of water out. Nothing fantastic, admittedly, but there was a sort of story about it, which was that it would heal all your ailments. I have tried. It doesn't cure baldness, unfortunately, but admittedly I wouldn't want to be that chap later on with his dog, because it's got quite a high iron content in the water. Yeah, it wouldn't do your guts any favours. But yeah, people used to come along here and grab a cup of that and prance off, thinking it was doing them well, but sadly not. Quite a few stories to do with that. Like I say, that monument there is the monument for William Huskinson, who was a local MP to Liverpool. He met his end, sadly, one of the very first train accidents in the country, possibly the world. Stepped off his train to go and shake hands with the Duke of Wellington, and in the process, being quite a clumsy man he was, he fell in front of the track. Wasn't quick enough to step out of the way, got his legs mangled, survived to 9 o'clock, and then managed to get his will written out, and that was it, game over for him. So yeah, but we do tend to come here to see if we can actually get him, on the basis of the stories of a man that likes to wander the graveyard, or the park as such as it is now, in a top hat and a cloak and a cane, but with a bit of a hobble. So, I mean, people have seen him. People have also heard sounds of screams from this graveyard. Sadly, quite a few suicides have taken place over the years. Yeah, quite a few sort of, not so much famous sort of things, but quite a few incidents where it's made the headlines in this city back in the day, like sea captains committing suicide, sea captains being killed on their own ships. So yeah, there's quite a bit of quite a few stories, I must admit. Yeah, it is quite peaceful. Obviously there is some youth in here today, but they are, like I say, being relatively well behaved. This is what classes the little Harry Potter chess set. Get quite a bit of activity sort of walking around here. Let me just turn the camera around. People have reported seeing a young girl sort of walking this way, running from this point all the way over to there. So yeah, it's a very interesting place to come, very interesting place to be. Obviously this is my first night back on events. I think, was it Christmas? Last time I actually did one, like a proper one anyway. But looking forward to the guests coming along, looking forward to being back, hopefully in a couple of weeks' time. Obviously, if things keep going as they are, we'll be able to get back inside to our indoor events, do our overnight stays, which is what I truly love, absolutely love doing our overnights. And yeah, getting back to normal and giving the guests the best experience that they can possibly have. Like I say, we've got about 15 minutes before my guests get here, but I'm going to get myself sort of prepped and ready. Hopefully we can get a bit done. Hopefully some of the wildlife will leave the area, so make it a little bit easier to do. And hopefully we get some activity. I mean, a couple of times we've been here and done our own little live. Over the last few weeks we've had quite a bit of spirit box. I used to quite a bit of spirit box activity and communication, good responses. So it'd be interesting to see if we can actually get that again tonight. If we don't, we don't. That's part and parcel of doing what we do. We like to give it a go. Nothing will get faked. Whatever happens, happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But we try our damn bloody hardest to find it and see where we are. But other than that, I'm just going to say thank you very much for just jumping on and just listening and just like watching me grab it on for a little bit. But basically it was a big hello to say we're back, and we're looking forward to sharing this time with you over the next few weeks going into the latter part of the year. Have a look on our Facebook and on our webpage, look for our local events, have a look at what events are coming up, and just basically jump on, book and enjoy. We've got quite a bit coming up for you all to enjoy anyway, so have a good nosy, and hopefully we'll see you all there soon. So other than that, I'll say thank you very much. Hopefully the sun goes down soon and we can have a good night, and speak to you all soon. Right, take care. Bye now.